What is good, you guys? Welcome back to the Hero Report. Welcome back to a brand new video. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I am back with another video. We're going to be talking about this Heat versus Bulls preview because we do play the Bulls tonight. It's going to be a great game. I think this might be the best game of the night as far as all NBA games are concerned. You have the Nets and the Suns as well. I don't know how any of these games are not nationally televised, but you know, we all know the NBA hates the Heat, so it's fine. But yeah, if I'm looking at the other games, they're not really as appealing as, you know, Bulls, Heat, and Nets, Suns. You know, the other games that are televised, I don't think should be, but that's besides the point, man. We do play the Bulls. The Bulls are currently the second seed in the East. The Heat are currently the third seed in the East. They have a record of 13-7. We have a record of 12-7. It's going to be a great game, fun game to watch, and I'm going to be super pumped up for it. Now, I do want to talk about some things, keys to winning this game, because it's going to be really important. This is going to be a dogfight. This is going to be a very, tough game to win because this is a dangerous team in the East. They've been on a roll. They've been playing really well. Obviously, the one thing that we have going for us is the fact that they have just come off a back-to-back. So I'm going to be talking more about that. So make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below if you guys have not already. Really helps out the channel. And also, make sure you guys hit that bell to make sure you don't miss any of my videos. But yeah, let's get right into it. Like I said, the Bulls are coming off a back-to-back. They played the Magic last night in Orlando. They destroyed them, basically beat them by almost 30-40. Like, they were really good. And I think that, one thing that we have in our favor is that they played last night, so their guys aren't going to be as rested, but they kind of did rest their guys in the fourth quarter because they were up so much. So even in the late third quarter, I don't think their guys played that many minutes. We saw guys like Ayo, Dosunmu play, Devon Dotson play, people like that who don't really get many minutes. I know Ayo gets minutes, but they had Kobe White and Caruso that game. Matt Thomas got minutes, Alize Johnson got minutes, Tony Bradley got minutes, Troy Brown got minutes. Like, a lot of their guys got minutes. A lot of their garbage time guys got minutes, which means, they got some rest, but they still played last night. So we all know that the Bulls have Zach LaVine, who's a killer. Zach LaVine is number one, A1, the guy that we have to watch out for, because if he gets going, this is a very dangerous team. I think he is their best player. Now, you can argue that DeRozan's having a better season, but I think Zach LaVine is overall their best player. So he is a guy that we have to watch out for. I would honestly want, the Zach LaVine assignment to be, Jimmy Butler or Kyle Lowry or one of these guys. Either one of the two, maybe even PJ Tucker if you want, but I don't think it'll be him. I think it has to be either Kyle or Jimmy. I think you put Duncan on Lonzo Ball, who's still having a pretty good season himself, but he's not nearly the scoring threat as Zach LaVine is. So if you put Kyle Lowry or Jimmy on LaVine, you can put the other one on DeRozan. And then PJ Tucker and Bam will be fighting down there with Javonte Green and Vucevic. Let me tell you one thing about Javonte Green, because I know a little bit about him. He's not, a guy who's some, big name scorer or shooter or anything, but he's a guy who's a excellent hustle player. He just hustles his heart out. He's just a very great, gritty hustle player that any team could want on their team. So he's going to be that thorn in our side, like how Jared Vanderbilt or Jaden McDaniels was for the Timberwolves when they were getting all the offensive rebounds on the glass and hustling, because that's what they do. That's what their roles is. Even with Jared Vanderbilt, that's what his role is on the team, is to be a hustle player. Javonte Green is going to be that same guy. He led them in boards last night with 8. He's going to be a thorn in our side as far as rebounding the ball. We have to make sure we get a body on him. We have to make sure we block him out, because we do not want to allow second chance points, because he is a guy, if he gets multiple second chance opportunities for his team, we all know that hurts the Heat. So we have to make sure that we put a body on Javonte Green, because he is going to be a hustle player. So you probably have PJ Tucker just, being physical with him down low, because I don't really know who else you'd put on him. Bam is going to be guarding Vucevic. Vucevic is a very skilled player. Vucevic has always done well against the Heat in the past when we had Whiteside and everyone, but I think Bam has done a pretty good job on Vucevic in the past. And Vucevic is not having the greatest of individual seasons, so I think this won't be, too difficult, but Vucevic is still a very skilled player. I've watched Vucevic a lot over the years, and because he's just a really fun player to watch, and he's a guy that if he can get going and if he can provide a spark along with Zach LaVine and DeRozan, this team is very hard to beat. So Vucevic and Bam, I like that assignment. I've seen a lot of Heat fans come at Bam's head over the past couple of games, and I'm not really a big fan of it. Like, this guy, Bam Adebayo, is a guy that was a 14th pick compared to Ed Davis coming out of college, and he's already done this much. Like, what makes you guys think that Bam Adebayo is not a hard worker? Bam Adebayo is soft. You have to be a hard worker. You have to be tough-minded to get to where he has gotten to so far with all the odds against him. You know his background. Like, Bam Adebayo will be fine. Don't worry about that. And I think he'll have a good game against Vucevic. I think Vucevic is a guy that, he's not. I don't think Vucevic can really guard Bam. I really don't. Vucevic, as big of a player he is, I just think he's way too slow to keep up with Bam. At least with a guy like Karl-Anthony Towns, who I don't think is the best defender himself, he was giving you some length, some mobility, some versatility. I don't see that with Vucevic. So I think Bam could have his way on the offensive end if he plays his cards right. The DeRozan thing is very interesting because DeRozan's having a stellar season. He's a top 5 MVP candidate, if you ask me. He's having a great season, man. And it's going to be interesting. DeRozan and Jimmy they've kind of gone back and forth over the years. Obviously, I think Jimmy Butler has, taken that next step to be a better player than DeRozan over the past couple of years since he's gone to Miami. But DeRozan right now is having a great season compared to what he's had with the Spurs. And, he's putting himself back in that conversation of being, a top 20 player, top 25 player, top 30 player in this league. It's going to be interesting, to see how we can stop DeRozan. He's a tough shot maker. He loves the mid-range game. He's a guy that can get to the rim at will. Pretty athletic, very good defender. And I just think him and Jimmy are going to have to mirror each other. Jimmy's going to have to be on DeRozan. They'll probably put DeRozan on Jimmy. And then that probably leaves Kyle Lowry on Zach LaVine, which Zach LaVine obviously has a size advantage, but I like Kyle Lowry being physical with him. And I think he can cause him some problems. Off the bench, the Bulls do have some weapons. Kobe White is back from his injury. He dropped 20 points against the Magic. He had a really good game, actually. I watched that game. He did pretty well. And he's another guy. If he can be like a sixth man type of guy, like similar to how Tyler Hero is for us, Kobe White is a guy that can fill it up off the bench. So it's going to be him and Tyler Hero being the scorers off the bench for both of these teams. Tyler Hero obviously is having an incredible season, and then Kobe White, just coming back from injury, has already shown what he can do off the bench in the last game, and even before when he was drafted. This is going to be a great matchup, Kobe White and Hero, because I think whoever scores more, is going to really help their team, have a chance to win this game. Because if Kobe White goes out for 25 off the bench, I don't know if the Heat are going to win this game. So we have to make sure that we defend Kobe White while also making sure that Tyler Hero gets shots to shoot and score the ball, because it's imperative that Tyler Hero has a great game. If he doesn't, our bench scoring is kind of non-existent. They do have glue guys and defensive players off their bench. Alex Caruso, one of my favorite role players in the NBA, he's off their bench. We all know the grittiness of Caruso. He's a guy that was memed, and now he's actually a really respectable NBA player. So we all know what he does. He's a defensive guy. He leads the league, and I'm pretty sure he's second in deflections, because I was talking about it in one of my videos. And he is a very underrated player in this league. I think he does a little bit of everything. So they have Caruso. They obviously have Heat legend Derrick Jones Jr. He's just going to be there running the lane, dunking. But he's also a really good defender. Derrick Jones Jr. is a guy that I think they might put on Hero, because not only does Derrick Jones Jr. know how Hero plays, or he did know how Hero played when he played with him, but he also has the length, he has the body and the athleticism to give Hero some problems, because his wingspan is so long. So they either might put Derrick Jones Jr. or they might put Alex Caruso on Hero, and those are not easy matchups for Tyler. Off our bench, we obviously have guys like Max Strus. Gabe Vincent is probably going to play some minutes. Markieff Morris is out, but I expect Gabe, who had a pretty solid game, I think, against the Timberwolves. Obviously, the whole Anthony Edwards charge thing was a big thing that was going on in the NBA. Listen, I love Anthony Edwards, man. I'm a huge Anthony Edwards fan. I think he's a dog. I think Anthony Edwards, he was one of my favorite players coming into the NBA, and I just love how he plays. I just think that he is that one guy on that team. Even Karl Anthony Towns, I'm not, too worried about him, but I think Anthony Edwards he's gonna become the best player on that team very soon. I know Karl Anthony Towns is really, really good, but I just think Edwards is a different animal, man. I just think that he just has that X factor to me. But like I said, Gabe Vincent will play some minutes. Caleb Martin will play some minutes. I want Strus to get minutes. He hasn't really played in the past couple games, but I do want Strus to play. Dwayne Dedmon, obviously, they don't really have a backup center. Tony Bradley is their backup center, and he hasn't really played that much in the past couple of games because he hadn't been playing well. But they'll probably put him in since we have Dedmon coming in from our bench. The bench scoring battle is going to be interesting. The Heat, I'm pretty sure, have the highest scoring bench in the NBA, but Markieff Morris is out, and it's going to be tough against the Bulls bench, who have two great defenders and a great scorer themselves in Kobe White. So Hero, Vincent, Strus, Martin, Dedmon, I expect all of them to get some minutes. And it's going to be a dogfight. Like I said, it's going to be a great game to watch because both of these teams are incredible, man. These teams are like they just match up so well. I would love to see a playoff series between these two teams. I would pick the Heat to win, obviously, but I just think that the Bulls, it'd just be really fun to watch, especially with the rivalry that we've had against the Bulls in the past. Obviously, Jimmy Butler returns to Chicago too. That's another big storyline. And yeah, so let me know what your thoughts are about this game, man. Do you think we can win this game? By how much? How tough do you think this game will be? I think this is probably going to be one of the best games of the season, so I'm super excited for it. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. I'll see you guys later. As always, have a nice day.